So who is doing the better marketing? Artificial intelligence or you? Well, probably it's a combination. So in our upcoming talk, we're going to learn everything AI and how you nowadays better work with AI-enriched content, how you build your archetypes, and how you're going to make those machines really work for you. This is going to be super, super fascinating. And it's about a future that is really already happening today and how you can make use of it.
Hi, my name is Tadas and I'm the founder and CEO of Genus AI. I'm really excited to be here with you all today to speak about how brands can use the power of artificial intelligence to grow via social media channels in a very efficient and effective manner. Today, we live in a world where over $100 billion is spent on Facebook and Instagram alone. Also, newcomers like TikTok are coming in, reaching over 20% of social media user base. All of this is combined with the need and the major drive by brands to acquire customers directly in this pandemic year. So how easy is this to do, and is it accessible to everyone equally? And the answer is absolutely not, especially for smaller brands. It can still be quite prohibitive to create video ads efficiently. It also can be quite prohibitive to have the top agency oversee that. Can cost quite a lot. And also hiring the teams to build predictive models, score content is also not accessible to everyone. And this is where machine learning and AI tools can come into play to help superpower your teams. So imagine a world where you could use software to generate ads. You could use software very easily to build insights and audiences and actually control your spend in one place. And so this future is actually already here. This is what we've been building at Genus AI, and I'm very excited to share about that with you today. So the first pillar that the platform of Genus AI is based on is actually the ability to model and predict customer behavior. Taking in your own customer records, customers that purchase something on your site, allows for creating smarter AI-driven audiences. The second pillar that is very important is the ability to use software, use our platform to actually generate content from scratch, to have abundance of diverse content to match to these audiences. And then lastly, being able to see both in one place and build campaign hypotheses and iterate towards superior CPA and amazing ROAS results. So the easiest way to talk about this is actually show you how it looks like. What I'll share with you right now is the view to our platform. And what you're able to see here is three major areas: the audiences, the content, and the campaigns. This is specific to Facebook. In one glimpse, your team can identify opportunities, strategies, and also the current performance. Let's talk a little bit about content first. The platform allows you to integrate with your Facebook and Instagram ads manager and pull in your ads automatically and actually immediately score them. The first score that is outputted here is called Ad Appeal Score. And this particular score is trained on hundreds of thousands of ads that are live that looks for predicting likes and engagement. And it's a very robust model. However, not always likes and engagement equals good campaign performance. So the system also is able to understand what particular customer archetype this ad will be optimal for. And I'll talk to you a little bit in a moment of what these archetypes are and how they can be used. So one can upload more creative. You can upload an entirety of your product shoots or other media libraries to be incorporated and used in this creative hub as well. Now, what's very important is the ability to generate ads programmatically. We actually recommend to generate video ads, and we created this ability here. So you can supply ingredients such as images or video clips, and depending on the template, they'll be used in all possible combinations to create the final ad. You're able to upload in here, select the output format, upload your logo. We find that having your logo on top is always very helpful. And then also enter actual text. So the more text variants you'll enter, the more videos will be created. And then you can also select even a soundtrack or audio track for your ad to be engaging and exciting. So some of our brands have entered so many of these variables that they could create millions of ad combinations, and thousands of them get manufactured that predict to have the highest performance metrics once placed in the campaigns themselves. So, for example, here is showing to you how an ad that's scoring highly could look like. So these particular clips are chosen to be in this particular order using pre-trained algorithms, and the text overlay is placed automatically to continue driving call to action to this particular ad. What we are really excited about is some of the winning ads that were created using the platform by our brands. And I'll show you one example here. And this particular example is of a brand called Cook Unity, where they wanted to lead with a testimonial ad. And also they were interested in understanding through this automatic methodology which other clips should go into which order. And what they were able to notice is that ads performed better, that were predicted highly, that had this lady smelling the leaf. And this clip they would never have prioritized to put in the ad, but actually it resonated very well with a particular customer archetype called experimental fun seekers. Because of their higher levels of openness to new experience and extroversion, just being able to see that central experience was driving value, and they were able to decrease their CPA by over 30%. This is another ad that is an example of an ad that can be created from user-generated content itself and was used by one of our brands very successfully as well. Now, okay, so we talked a little bit about content. What about audiences? So the platform allows the brand to actually upload customer data. And so you're able to connect to your Shopify account and be able to connect to your upload a CSV file if you were somewhere else. And normally as a brand, you know quite little about your customers. So you know what they ordered and you know where to ship them or how to build them. But beyond that, the data is very spotty and you may not know much about them at all. So what we created is the ability to automatically enrich your customer file with external insights. So we partner with third-party data vendors, commercialists and data vendors, being able to bring in that information about demographic composition, household, but most importantly, insights into lifestyle and interests. And these particular interests are able to drive pre-built predictive models that group customers in the communications archetypes, as we call them, that help us segment your customers by how they perceive new information rather than by their skin color, their age, their income, or other really basic segments. So by knowing what is the largest customer archetype, you're able to also work towards more efficient content. And that's what we're really excited about. So how do you combine these insights into actionable audiences? Well, we created this ability for you to build predictive models without any coding required whatsoever. So for example, you can select lifetime value column and you can look at how your lifetime value groups here by amount and how many customers reach that. And you can say, well, I'd like to understand if there are any differences between my customers that are over 80th percentile, let's say $718 in terms of lifetime value. And you can just simply click Start Training and build a predictive model completely easily to understand if there's a difference between the group that reaches that LTV and the rest of your customers. So one pre-built model here is of customer lifetime value over 1,000. And what you're able to see here is a figure showing a lift that the model produced on a holdout sample. So it correctly guessed many more customers that will reach this threshold at the high levels of confidence here at the top decile, first decile and second and third, versus the bottom deciles, 10th, 9th, and 8th, showing that there is some signal that the model is able to pick up. And specifically speaking, the model is able to see some lifestyle, some personality insight signal, as well as signal into financial and household and demographic features. So what the platform allows the brand to do is actually to look at, well, in this top decile, customers that are predicted to have this higher lifetime value, what is their archetype composition? And we see there's more experimental fund seekers when comparing this top decile with the bottom decile. Only 1% of them are in the bottom decile, and over 45 are in the top decile. So already informing you that communicating with them in this particular way, where you're showing something that is highly engaging, that is inviting them to experience new things, and is quite stimulating, could be valuable for this particular brand. In fact, for other brands, other archetypes are more important and index more, and therefore they are able to fine-tune their content creation to that direction as well. So you're also able to compare these top decile with the overall customer base and understand if there are any demographic shifts that you're also being able to observe. So by being able to really surgically create these audiences, you're able to pass on to Facebook Ads Manager for lookalike building a much more homogeneous, much more refined group of customers that share this characteristic of interest to you, and therefore the system, their machine learning engine, is able to do a better job. And so how do you put these two together? The platform allows you to combine the audiences and the content in this campaign builder. And so we can create a new campaign and immediately build out an ad set. So we can choose from options like broad targeting, specific historic performance, or this performance created by a predictive model that we just discussed. So let's say lifetime value over 1,000. And all you need to do is just select you can select a folder, and the system automatically matches all the pieces of content in that folder to the specific audience of 1,692 customers. So the hypothesis here is that by building a lookalike around them, the same content is going to also be resonating better and with more efficiencies. So you can create another ad set here, for example, surrounding an archetype that is shown quite a bit of interest or indexed a little higher. So let's do this as well. And so now you have two ad sets which we're able to combine together. Different ads were selected for these two ad sets. This now hypothesis around lifetime value and around experimental fund seekers is something that you can directly publish into Facebook as a seed audience, as a lookalike audience, publish the creatives, and then monitor the performance of this campaign directly here on the platform. So you're able to very carefully track whether you're having improvements on your cost per acquisition, whether you have improvements on your return on ad spend, and build different hypotheses, rapidly iterate to create superior campaigns. So how have brands used us, and what success have they reached? Well, actually, one of our brands, Hunter Killer, was able to score tens of thousands of their user-generated content to actually pick out which images would be best used as ads, request for those for permissions for those images, and incorporate them side by side to ads that they've historically seen work very well. And they were able to decrease their CPA by 35% and over double their return on ad spend. Being able to use machine learning in this way allowed them to do something that the team wouldn't be able to do manually. Another example of how this framework can be used is Flex Shopper, which has a little bit more of a complicated leads-based customer acquisition process. So being able to steer Facebook's lookalike engine towards more desirable customers was very important to them. And by building these predictive models, they were able to achieve a much more higher quality of leads, and by matching content, acquire them at a lower cost, overall resulting in a very successful outcomes for the business. So I hope that these examples illustrate the power that AI machine learning can have in this space. So if you're running a marketing team or if you're running a brand and you're curious about this, please take a look, explore vendors, explore tools, and supercharge your existing teams with abilities that would allow them to compete with large brands or massive teams or even top agencies. So thank you for your attention. One last thing that I'd like to give to everyone today is the ability to use our platform for free. It's a special offer for participants of the conference. So if you're interested, please reach out. But you're able to completely freely explore the tool, upload data, understand if you can build useful models, score content, see how that compares to your previous experience, and evaluate whether this is something that could help you. And, we hope that you will take advantage of this opportunity. Our mission is to support brands, large or small, but especially smaller brands, and make them grow fast and make them being able to compete in this world of direct-to-consumer engagement via social media channels. So thank you so much for your attention, and look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye now.